many years have you made a resolution to lose weight and have been unsuccessful? Well, if you're like me, it's not because you didn't give it your best shot. And I don't think I'm a failure, and neither are you. So exactly what is the problem? Well, that popular New Year's resolution for weight loss doesn't work because we usually are cutting calories, depriving our bodies of what it needs, not to mention we are gung-ho with the workouts and look for immediate results, and it's just not sustainable. So the bottom line is we need a better approach. And that's what today's chat with Jennifer Nagel of Figured Out Fitness is all about. Jennifer is an online fitness and lifestyle coach and certified personal trainer for women over 30 who want simple nutrition and fitness solutions that can help them feel stronger, feel energetic, and live healthier lives. Through her signature one-on-one coaching program, The Body Blueprint, and her free online community on Facebook, Modern Women Getting Fit, she's going to shake up what you think you know about health and fitness and make it feel like the easiest thing since sliced bread. Jennifer has been featured in MyFitnessPal, Pop Sugar Fitness, and Well and Good. And when she's not coaching, you can find her watching sappy Netflix original movies, embarrassing her teenagers, and planning her next travel adventures with her hubby, pre-COVID, of course. So let's dive into my chat with Jennifer, which is episode number 42. Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine, and let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to chat with today's guest, which is Jennifer Nagel. And Jennifer and I connected not that long ago, but I feel like we've known each other forever now. So, Jennifer, I just want to start off by saying thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Shannon. I'm really excited to be here. And yes, we definitely have become fast friends.
We definitely have. And you've helped me so much just with your simple tips. So I know that everyone's going to love the information you share with us today. So today we're going to talk about something that is very timely as this episode airs because, you know, the year is coming to an end. At the beginning of the year, we've all done this. We've set those New Year's resolutions that we don't keep after a couple of months because they're too hard. So Jennifer is going to share some simple, healthy habits that we can develop that will get us better results than setting those lofty goals that end up leaving us defeated. But before we dive into today's topic, Jennifer, tell us just a little bit about yourself and your background and your journey.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know a lot of fitness professionals have done fitness their entire career, but I actually started my career in higher education. I was in higher education for 15 years in various administrative and leadership roles. I love fitness. I love to exercise. I love food, but it was one of those things that I just kind of did and I never really thought about it. But a lot of that changed when I was in my early 30s. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce. I became a single parent. And, you know, I'll just be honest, I really let myself go. So I wasn't sleeping. I was surviving on maybe like peanut butter and grapes and Diet Dr. Pepper, was not taking care of myself. And so I went from being a relatively healthy person pre-divorce to maybe 6 or 9 months later, not being able to sleep. You know, I lost a ton of weight from the divorce and gained a ton of weight. I was exhausted. And then at the same time, I got a promotion, which sounds amazing, but it just added another level of stress to my life. I was trying to manage single parenthood, my new job, which was very demanding, a lot of huge life changes. And I just put myself way on the back burner. And then I had a huge wake up call. I wasn't feeling well, you know, go figure. I wasn't feeling well. I took myself to the doctor and they diagnosed me with high blood pressure. And I was 31 years old. And I was like, whoa, because just not even a year ago, I was healthy and in great shape. And now they're sending me home with pills and telling me you have to take these every day. So I really realized I had to change something in my life. And I started to try to go back to my old ways and healthy habits. But being a parent, being a single parent, being a working parent, it was just hard to do it the old way. So I had to start to relearn how to incorporate exercise, fitness, and health into my life in a way that made sense. Um, I started pursuing certifications because I got really into it. If you know me, if I'm into something, I'm 100% in. So I started getting certifications. I started teaching. I started coaching. At one point, I even owned my own fitness studio, all while I was still working full time in higher ed. So I'd love to say that I learned my lesson quickly, but I didn't. And it took me a few years. But at some point, I realized that what I truly loved was helping women who were like me in my position, who were struggling, wanted to do better with their health and fitness, but had a whole lot of other demands on their time. And I opted to leave my very successful 15-year career and start a business as an online personal trainer. And so I've been doing that for 3 years. My business is fantastic. The best part of my job is being able to really help women just reimagine what good looks like and what success looks like, and feel really good and really confident and quite and healthy. And so we work with women all around the world, and that's where I got to where I am right now.
Great. And I will say you practice what you preach because my schedule is tight. We've talked about this offline in other conversations. And what I really appreciate about the information you share in your group, which is Modern Women Getting Fit, is there tips that busy women, not just moms, can do because we have so much on our plates. But all the fitness people are like, you have to work out 30 minutes, you have to work out for an hour. So for those of us who can't fit that in, we just give up and it's like, well, oh, well, I can't do it and I have no other option. So for all of us who that has been pounded into our head, what can we do or what type of workouts can we do that will be beneficial but won't take us an hour?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. So I actually enjoy being in the gym, but even then I'm rarely there over an hour at all. And in fact, we talk about ways to get in anywhere from 5 minutes of exercise to 30 minutes of exercise. You can break it up throughout the day. You can do it all at once. But I think the biggest thing is understanding that exercise and movement, and if you think about it in terms of movement, can look quite different from person to person. So if you're thinking first of formal exercise, you can do something like a 5 minute circuit, body weight, something you can do at home, of some simple exercises. And you do that maybe once an hour for a few hours a day. And then that's how you cumulatively get to 20 or 30 minutes of exercise. You can incorporate walks or dance party or activities with your kids, because again, you're getting movement in, you're getting your what we call neat calories, or your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's the nerdy way of saying movement. And that's also important, and that burns calories, gets your body moving, gets your heart pumping. So it doesn't always have to look like this very formal, very difficult kind of workout. If you think about just moving certain intervals a day. I know one of the things you and I talked about was, if you are sitting at your desk every hour, just set your little alarm on your phone and says, get up and move, and walk around for a couple of minutes, or do some things at your desk or with your kids if your kids are at home. So it can look so many different ways. It doesn't always have to look like getting in your car, driving to a place, exercising, and coming back. The reality is, and especially now, most of us can't do that. We just don't have the time or the capacity or the desire to do that. So it's really about incorporating the small snippets of activity multiple times a day, or really just simplifying the activity that you're considering exercise. So I was joking with someone the other day. I mean, I don't know if this dates me, but I mean, Wii bowling or any of those dance things that, on the video games. I mean, I'm not a PS5 kind of person. I'm not a game person, but things like that, that's exercise, that's movement. So just reimagining what movement and exercise looks like and getting it in when you can.
Those practical tips that you shared with me really helped. Just the movement throughout the day. Because one thing I have definitely focused on was getting up every 45 minutes to an hour. So I started, I was like, okay, I can do this. What Jennifer said will help me. I can do this. So I started with a minute and would do that every hour. And then I increased it to 3 minutes every 45 minutes to an hour. And doing that just in less than a month has reduced my body fat by 1%, which
Ooh.
that was my goal. And it was literally just getting up and moving, like you said. So that definitely, if you are not moving enough, start now.
Yeah, and Shannon, that's such a good example of a simple habit or a habit stack and building on a win. I think sometimes we have this all or nothing mentality where if I can't do it and perfectly, then I can't do it at all, or I don't won't do it at all. And it's okay to start slow. It's okay to start with 30 seconds. It's okay to start by just simply setting the timer. Like those things are wins. And you can always build on that habit over time. And who knows, maybe in next month you'll work up to 6 minutes. And then you might decide, oh, this feels really good. And then you might just carve 20 minutes of exercise into your routine. So these small habits, I mean, a lot of times when you see the commercials about health and fitness, it's like these big or transformation Tuesdays. You see, oh, I so and so dropped 25 pounds in 6 minutes. And that's the expectation we have. But in reality, sustainable health or even weight loss, if that's your goal, happens in the little 2-minute activities that you do every single day. It's the decision to get up and move. It's the setting of the timer. It's the, putting your tennis shoes by your desk so you can go for a walk. I mean, that's when you win. Those are the habits and behaviors that actually make a difference over time.
Yes, definitely. So for anyone who wants to try this, just create a good playlist. And what I do is I just pick whatever song I want to get on the treadmill and listen to, and I walk on the treadmill with my weights in my hands for that entire song, and then I'm done. I go back to work. And it works. It works for me. You have to be creative basically to figure out what works for you.
I
So
love it. You should share your playlist. We need to know what you're listening to.
it's got all kinds of good stuff on it.
Some
So now
Lil
we know.
Jon. Kidding.
So now movement is one piece. So now for a lot of other people, and this isn't necessarily the case for me because we eat pretty healthy because I control the diet in the house. So I don't care if they don't like what I cook, they just don't eat. But for those who may not have the clean diet, I know there's some that struggle with sugar. I'm not one of those people. My vices are coffee and wine. But for those who may struggle with eating healthier, one big thing definitely is meal prep.
Mm-hmm.
And you do a phenomenal job with your meal prep. And it's very simple. So, what tips can you give us to help us with that?
This is one of the things that saved my life. So I just want to be completely transparent that 6 years ago, I was the person hating cooking, hating meal prep, ordering pizza, trying to feed my kids something. It's kind of like throw some food at them. I don't even care what it is. And clearly that was not a really great plan. So my husband and I quickly realized that we had to make some changes. So that's how we started really getting into meal prep. And over the years, we have truly refined this process. So I have a great meal planner on my Instagram page and in some of the other resources. But basically, I think about meals as building blocks. If you have like Tetris, if again, I'm probably dating myself, but you have a block that's protein. You have a block that's healthy carbohydrates. So those would be like your whole grains or starchy carbs. You have a block that's fruits and vegetables. And everyone's like, what about healthy fats? Don't worry about the healthy fats. You're going to get fat and all this stuff. Trust me. Then you have a block that I call flavor pops. So the things that really like set off your meals and make them go from like bland to like bam. And then you have a block of the way you cook something. So literally look from like column A or block A, block B, block C, and pull something and create a meal. And so the meal planning piece becomes extremely simple. I used to be the person who would, be so confused looking at Pinterest boards or pulling up recipe sites thinking, I'm never going to make this, like, when is this actually going to happen? But so the planning piece was critical. And then the prep piece, we started to make it easy. I called it the fast dash method of meal prep. I called it something because, everybody's got to have a system. So that's my system. And it's basically about grouping the foods that have similar cook time so that you can cook it all at once. So we literally zone out our kitchen, make sure everything is cleaned in advance. And then everything that takes about an hour to cook, we cook that all at the same time. And then if it takes 30 minutes to cook, we cook that all at the same time. And if it's 10 minutes to cook or prep, we cook that all at the same time. So within the hour, all the food is done. So we went from I think I calculated that we saved 2 to 3 hours a week in meal prepping this way. And so we never worry about what's for dinner because it's already planned out and it's already in the fridge. The kids can, my kids are teenagers now and adults. Oh my gosh, they're old. And so they can go into the fridge and kind of pull things together and create their own meals. And for me and my husband, we tend to eat individual meals. So we kind of put all our meals together in a little container, and then I just grab it out of the fridge. So it's really reduced our anxiety. It reduced our grocery bill because now that we plan, we know exactly what to buy. We know exactly which quantities, and when we eat it, it's done. So at the end of our week, our refrigerator looks really empty, but we're not wasting food like we used to. Because, we used to go to the grocery store and had all these lofty goals of making, the one recipe that you saw for your friend told you about, or you saw a Facebook video on it. And then it just sits. All the ingredients just sit in your fridge. And by the weekend, you're throwing it in the trash. So yeah, it's the planning and the prep method that has completely transformed the way that we eat and creating time. Because honestly, our biggest concern, yes, I am concerned about health, but our biggest concern was time. We never had time.
And meal prepping, what I love about this specific topic is we all will take tips from other people that work and then convert them to what works for us. So I'm going to steal some pieces from you, like similar cook times, but I meal prep differently. But like you said, because I kind of bulk cook at the beginning of the week and then everybody just picks throughout the week. And so the refrigerator's full up until about Thursday. And it's like, okay, eat what's left. Trash goes out on Friday and we start over. But it's simplified grocery shopping, especially now. We know during the pandemic, there have been shortages of different things, but like I use Trello for my meal planning and I keep an inventory of the food that I have in the house and that helps me with meal planning. But even just the similar cook times, that's a piece I hadn't thought of. So we'll definitely be stealing that to apply that to my
trademark fast dash. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys have never seen Shannon's Trello board, I am intimidated by it. So I'm like, I don't know how she does it. So I keep saying I'm going to steal some of your Trello board information, but it might even be over my head. I'll be honest, I'll be completely honest. But I love the fact, yeah, everybody's going to pull something that works for them. The key is of planning. The whole concept is just to plan in advance, and it will save you hours of time and tons of headache. Because I asked my audience once what was the biggest thing that was frustrating to them about health and nutrition. And I would say about 75% of people said, meal planning and prep, I just want to hire a chef. I just want to have food ready. It causes all sorts of anxiety. And it's the one thing you can't skip because you have to eat. You have to eat every day. And so planning in advance, having some sort of system that works for you, I think is one of the big major wins that you can work on for 2021.
Yes. So for everyone that's listening, if you want to eliminate or at least attempt to eliminate the question, Mom, what's for dinner? Meal prepping is the key because then your answer can be just go look in the refrigerator at what's already cooked because that's all you have available. So
yeah, our kids don't ever ask that question. Like, they know it's like, here it is. They're like, their question is this for me or is this for you? Because we have different containers. I'm like, these containers are mine. You guys can help yourself to any of these other containers. They're all yours.
See, and I don't have that struggle in my house because a lot of the other things that I like to eat in my meals, my family doesn't eat. So they know if they pop open a container with Brussels sprouts, they're putting it back because they don't want it. So
True, true.
it works out great. So you've shared some nuggets with us so far. So just one more question. Any other healthy habits that are simple that someone can implement if they want to, in addition to getting more movement and doing that meal planning and prep ahead of time? Any other healthy habits that they can do that won't require a lot of time or, spending a lot of money to buy nothing big to do at home?
Oh yeah, there are going to be two general habits that I like to preach that are not cute, they're not exciting, but these are going to be the key to your success and just your sanity. And the first one is to have a sleep routine. So a lot of times sleep or rest gets pushed aside because we're always like, hashtag hustle or team no days off. Or if you're an entrepreneur, it's like, oh, you got to work, work, work. But at the end of the day, if you are not getting proper rest, your health goals, no matter how much you exercise or what good food you're eating, your health goals are going to suffer. So we've talked in our group about having a sleep routine. And I got this actually from another coach, Carrie. She calls it the bath bottle bed method. She's like, it's the same thing you teach to new parents for children, but it applies. So in her sleep routine, she encourages people to talk, first a bath, like a warm shower, something that kind of signals it's time to wind down and starts to calm you down. So the adult version might be a bubble bath or a warm shower or taking your makeup off and washing your face and brushing your teeth. And then bottle might be a cup of tea or having a glass of water by your bed or something like that. And then bed is your bedtime. So it might be turning off the television. Or one of my favorite purchases for me and my husband were those Bluetooth sleep masks. They're like the gel mask. It's a blacks everything out, but it's got a Bluetooth in it. So we used to always I would listen to, positive meditation and gratitude. And he's listening to literally Run DMC when he goes to bed. It's the weirdest thing, but he's like, this calms me down. I'm like, I don't get it, but that's okay. Um, but instead of having to worry about losing your headphones, it literally has the sound piece that wraps around your head like a headband, and it's soft. And then you can just Bluetooth your phone or your music or your meditations there. We got that on Amazon for under $30. So now we both sleep like babies because everything's blacked out. So either way, bath, bottle, bed, and have that routine and really work on getting a good 8 hours, maybe 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night of restful sleep because your body repairs itself at night. It goes to town, not only for your health, but like your skin and all those things. So I know a lot of women listening. So people always wonder, like, how do you look so good? It's like, it's water and sleep. Honestly, no matter what cream I put on my face, it's water and sleep. So there are a lot of weight management hormones that are being optimized at night and or can be impacted if you don't have enough sleep. So it's really important to get good quality sleep. No matter what your health goal is, ditch your deadline. And what I mean by that, and you kind of started talking about with that with the New Year's resolutions. Oh, it's 2021. I'm going to finally lose 30 pounds by my high school reunion on June 15th. And we're all taught to set smart goals, which is not a bad thing. But if that's where you stop, you're likely going to be derailed because then everything is about that deadline. So if you have a bad week or you're not able to eat the foods that you want, mentally you're like, oh, I'm further away from this deadline. Instead, focus on those little activities that you can commit to and celebrate your wins. So, for example, Shannon, when you were talking about, your playlist and going down to the basement, or I say basement because that's where my treadmill is, so going to the treadmill and walking with weight, that's a behavior goal. That's a process goal. That's something small that you celebrate. So instead of worrying about what happens in 6 months, worry about what you're doing from a day to day basis and the little stuff, not the big stuff, because the little stuff adds up to the big stuff. And so take that deadline off, take that pressure off, because what typically happens, especially with any health goal, but especially with a weight loss goal, you kind of get on the scale and it's like nothing happened and it's not working. And then people stop.
Yep.
So the encouragement or the incentive is in the wrong place. Let the incentive be on the little small habitual things that you can do. And maybe you look back and say, I had so much fun because I was able to do this 3 times this week. Or, I feel really good about what I ate today, or I did whatever. And that's going to keep you going because you're going to be able to reflect on the good stuff that happened and not necessarily how far away you are from that big goal. So get yourself a really great sleep routine and forget your deadline.
I love those. And especially, I'm all for a morning routine and a nighttime routine. And I will be on Amazon as soon as we finish finding my Bluetooth sleep mask, because I find there's some days at night that I need something to help me. Like, I go through my routine, but my mind is still racing, and it's usually midweek, because we have our Bible study is on Wednesday evening, so I don't get my normal calm down or nighttime routine time. So my mind's still going, but that will help me to still bring it down after the fact, even though I don't have as much time. And then who doesn't love shopping on Amazon these days? So
Right. It's a little dangerous. So just kind of go in with tunnel vision and get the one item, I promise. Otherwise, it'll be like $3,000 worth of Amazon material. Well, I need the Snuggie to go with this.
oh, of course. And then you'll find something else. Then it'll suggest something else. So yes, I've learned not to go down into the rabbit hole. Well, Jennifer, these have been some amazing tips, and I'm even looking forward to doing some of these and adjusting my nighttime routine for the bath bottle bed method myself. I love that. I love the power of three, so that is great. Now, before I let you go, other than the routines that you shared with us today, is there a system or another routine in your life or in your business that you can't live without?
Yes, in my business, and honestly, this is applicable to my life. I have always been one of those like super high achieving people. Like I've always been taught by my parents, work hard, work hard, work hard. And what I've learned is, and actually you helped me reinforce this quite a bit too, Shannon, so that's why we're good friends, is I spend the first day of the week not scheduling anything and letting that be the time of the week where I'm really thinking, reflecting, and strategizing. And that's both for business and in my personal life. So in my personal life, that day for me is Sunday, and my business that day of the week is Monday. It was a struggle to start blocking time for reflection and blocking time for what I call nothingness. But it was the best thing that I've ever done because now I can start the week relaxed. I start the week reflective and appreciative and really having a really sharp understanding of what I want to accomplish and get done. I've ended up on the family side spending more time with my family because I know what I want to do with them. We have so much more fun. We have downtime, which is not something, and that's one thing. I'm not to say I'm grateful for a horrible pandemic, but the one positive thing is we've all slowed down so much, which helps me really appreciate the power of the slowdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm an entrepreneur. I have a small business. I'm a small business owner. So it's really easy to get caught up in that activity. I always have to be working, and that's what productivity means. But for me, productivity has meant slowing down. So taking Monday for my business and Sunday for my personal life and just slowing down, reflecting, thinking about what happened last week, thinking about what I want to accomplish this next week has been a game changer for me.
And I love hearing that. Yes, I'm all for the slowdown. I've started doing the same myself. I pick one extra day, and I got this from the summit, the Purpose Driven Mompreneur Summit. One
Mm-hmm.
of the speakers mentioned having a flex time block where you don't plan anything. So I've started adding in that flex time block one day outside of my normal down days, where it's just like, okay, well, what do I feel like doing? Nothing. Okay, I'm doing nothing today.
Yeah, I think that comes from the book, The 12-Week Year, because that's where I got the take the one day. And it was so interesting because in a book about being productive and getting more stuff done in a short amount of time, what was really fascinating was he talked about the flex block, but he also talked about the strategic block, which is what I translated into my Monday and Sunday blocks. So it was like, wow, it's kind of like this. I always tell people slow down to go fast, but I guess I never applied it to me.
Applying it makes a difference, and you think it's counterproductive, but then when you do it, you find out you're more productive because you've taken the time, like you said, to rest, spend time with family, which fills us up. And then because of that, when you hit the ground running on Monday, you're ready to focus on what you need to do for your business, and you get way more done. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, before we end, where can everyone find you online?
Yes, I love to hang out on the gram. So find me on Instagram at the real Jennifer Nagel. And that really is the real and then my first and last name at the real Jennifer Nagel. And I really hope to see you guys there because I do like to put out a lot of content in my stories and lessons and resources. One of my goals this year is to help 1,000 women start their fitness journey in 2021. So whether that's a free resource or paid stuff that we do, it doesn't matter. I just want to see you so that I can help you take whatever steps that you are looking to do to improve your health, fitness, strength in 2021. So find me at the real Jennifer Nagel.
Yes. And don't forget to mention your Facebook group because you give some value in your group with your mini trainings, your preloaded videos and workouts that are in the lessons that are organized in there. We were just talking about that. So I'm going to put a link to your Instagram and your Facebook group, which is called Modern Women Getting Fit, so that you all can connect with Jennifer in both of those places and eliminate the resolutions and create some healthy habits so you can be healthier moving forward. Thank you again for joining us, Jennifer.
Thank you, Shannon. This was a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you enjoyed my chat with Jennifer and are ready to start creating those healthy habits in your life every day. I know I can't wait to use her meal planning tips to save me some more time. Now, if you would like to follow Jennifer on Instagram or join her free online community on Facebook, links to both are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed listening to the show and can't wait to use one or more of these tips, please take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at @the_Shannon Baker. And don't forget, you are more than enough. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.